everyone. I'm Dr. Gigi Sabbat, motivational keynote speaker, and I'm also the Florida chapter leader for World Woman Conference and Awards. It's such an honor to have each and every one of you here today for our first annual global poetry event. Thank you to all of our poets. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you all for listening in. And also a special thank you to our co-host here and our judge, Raul Marin. Welcome, Raul.
He's on mute.
You're muted.
And of course, I just realized I'm on mute. Let me rewind.
Welcome.
Pleasure to be here with every single one of you. You are all winners as poets in this room. So I cannot wait to hear what you have to share today. I know it's going to be amazing.
Thank you, Raul. Now, at this time, I'd love to welcome our first poet, Amanda Skill. Absolutely a beautiful soul. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So won't you join me on a leaf's marvelous journey? I'm going to do this so I can see better with the glare. I ride up on a leaf of wind, and as I travel here and back again, I recognize the treble pitch, the tremble, trumble, roar, the back and forth of yar and or. Sometimes I land onto nondescript land or land nondescript where trodden. And forgotten I sit and I wait and I sit till I'm sure I am forgotten. Then the winds of a change and of turmoil do blow, like a hurricane or maybe a tornado. The magic carpet leaf ride changes colors through the seasons, and the seasons of life directs the change of life's reasons. There are days that I land on a gentle babbling brook, or get caught up in the gust with the wind's strong right hook, and I end up racing, rushing rivers that wind to and fro. Back to the deep blue sea this leaf does go. I get tossed by the beaks of the birds on the sea. I get swallowed and spit out of the burgeoning beluga, baleen. I travel through plastic. I travel through sand. I travel through coral and red algae land. The fishy sea foam spreads its bubbles of ooh. Then the salty sea air encrusts like potato chip stew. Next, a jellyfish raft washes me with its goo. A south wind blows me again to an island of snow, pellet crystals on seaweed, a littered beach of junk roe. Layers of icy rocks crunch underfoot, cracking the ice plate where each step is put. Breaking like glass reveals a little splash. I get projected forward as a polar bear makes a pass. A little blow takes me back towards the sea. The sandy bottom of a tidal flow gone out, the gulls keep pecking at me. The lapping of the waves beckons me closer, saying, come higher, come hither, come join my wave chorus. Celebrate the starred sky, aurora borealis. Feel the crispness, the briskness, the chill in the air. See the yellow pregnant harvest moon showing off beauty there, and the 5 falling stars quickly descending nearby. Celebrate, little leaf, God's marvelous canvas sky. The lapping, lilting motion, see music, rhythmic, bobble. I spend a fortnight doing the nightly ocean wobble. Another storm moves me out to the tundra carpet of old, a place once trodden by those hungry for gold. And the smell of the berries so ripe fill the air that any moment you'll see gluttonous grizzlies sitting there. A movement of 1,000 hooves, their power tramples me. The earth quakes at the living horde, shivering with the moving sea. Of migrating hollow-haired bodies, get out of their way. Some days this leaf gets trampled, yet it's still a good day. Blown by the storms of life, may feel like there's not much choice, yet across the earth I go, made by the great voice. I'm thankful that the choice for me is to be blown with a mouth wind from the creator of the sea. The tempest may rise, the tempest may fall. What matters, little leaf, is what you did with it all.
Wow, absolutely incredible. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, our next poet is Amy Frith. And Amy Elizabeth Frith is a speaker and podcast host. Welcome.
Hi, Gigi. Thank you so much. I'm going to be so honest here. I just had an uncle visit by surprise, and I'm just tidying up my poem. Can someone else go ahead of me?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes. Thank you for letting us know, Amy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now,
All right.
our next poet is Mandy Robinson. And Mandy is a distinguished Toastmaster, 12 times author, 2 times Canadian award winner. And welcome, Mandy.
Namaste to all of you. Thank you so much for having me here. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and an honor. So I've got 2 poems. Do you want me to read the 2 today or one at a time, Gigi?
Either one is fine.
Either one? Okay, so we'll start with the bubble of life. The bubble of life. The body prepares us to breathe into a new day of life from the night's sleep. Eyelids lift in a subtle separation from the darkness, beholding without fear our environment that pleads safety, arising slowly, adjusting, bringing the body into controlled, necessary action. Nature takes its course after the body's autopilot propels us to release. Whispers of silence cascade behind us, penetrating into voids of emptiness. The vastness of the night evolves into the bubble of life. Lost? No. Floating, soaking up, breathing in the reasons for life, to live. The mind opens, darting with the swiftness of an arrow in flight. We choose to live, to breathe, to think, to feel, to touch and taste, to see and hear. So what will this bubble of life reveal to us this day, this week, this month, or into the future? An easiness lies within our freedom. The haunting terrors of our history have been like the ebb and flow of the tide, the rise and fall of mighty waves that thunder and crash upon our experience. The water has evolved over time. It has changed. It can only pass this way but once in a lifetime. Life hovers around us, above us, and below us. The bubble, the barrier of protection and enlightenment. Lost? No. Floating, soaking up, breathing in the reasons for life, to live. Precarious and precious, not guaranteed but given. Unpredictable, yet predictable in some form or another. Am I alive to make a difference? Do I survive because I'm a vital artery in this dance we call life? What was taken can never be returned. What was lost is lost into eternity. To be gained is knowledge and wisdom, fresh choices and decisions that move us forward in the dance of life, that keep us living, keep us busy. Looking back can burst the bubble. Looking back can mean we've stopped living. Lost? No. Floating, soaking up, breathing in the reasons for life, to live. Strength and courage evolve from past struggle, become a protective barrier to our being. I become kind to myself with inner dialogue. Well done, I hear myself speak. Thank you for being kind to me, she speaks back. You took another step forward. The echo can be heard. Yes, I make a difference to me. I celebrate me, my bubble of life, that I float in, surpassing all obscurity. Nothing and no one can define who I am. Prey upon my humanity, inflict carnage on my soul. You can never win, for I alone define who I am. That fact can never be compromised. Lost? No. Floating, soaking up, breathing in the reasons for life to live. There are days when the pulse has faded, when trials and tribulations bring to the fore the epitome of feeling jaded. Where are the answers that the soul seeks to evolve from a place that leaves us bleak? Remember that life heals itself all the time. Seen after a forest fire as new growth eventually reforms the forest line. The search runs deep to unfathomable depths. It winds through time and crevices laid bare. It leaves no stone unturned. All is exposed. Lost? No. Floating, soaking up, breathing in the reasons for life to live. New journeys bubble forth, just there to be taken, latching hold on fragility, planting seeds to reawaken. What haven't I tried in my bubble of life? What needs to be experienced that shuts the grave to strife? More imagination, stretching the mind, opens doors, pathways, opportunities, the jewels to find. Not a life to sit back and wait for things to unfold. A bubble to burst with passion and explosive gold. Nothing is impossible for our minds to comprehend, for joy and happiness are there for you and I to defend. So no, I will not stand idly by. I will imagine, I will search, I will create my wings, and I will fly, daring to touch the unstoppable and own it all. With careless relent, my vision to be well spent. Lost? No. Floating, soaking up, breathing in the reasons for life to live.
Thank you, Mandy. Now, our next poet is Dr. Radley Ramdan, and he completed his undergraduate degree at Barry University in North Miami, Florida, where he received Bachelor of Science in Biology with a minor in chemistry. Welcome, Dr. Radley.
Thank you, Gigi, and thanks to all the participants before and the ones that come after. It's a great month to have such an event. As we all know, April is Poetry Month, so I'm excited to be part of this event today. My poem is entitled Clocks and Compasses. Clocks and compasses were the signs I see all around, on the walls, roof, and even on the ground. What did it all mean? I simply asked. Then came the answer. The journey of life was the task. Clocks and compasses are just some of life's tools. With them, it reminds us of life's rules. Take them for what they are. Hidden in them are the messages from afar. Clocks simply symbolize the importance of time. As it ticks away, our lifespan goes from $1 to a dime. Time waits for no one as it masterfully flows. For life as we know it just comes and then gracefully goes. Compasses are for our sense of direction. For many times on the journey, we are stopped at another intersection. So here we take the time to choose our next move, go straight or turn a choice we have to approve. Life is a journey of the ticking and turning, a roller coaster path for opportunities of learning. Time and direction written in our daily quest. Each day we carefully take it as it is. A clock is in one hand and a compass in another. Some see it while others have no bother. The signs are there for us to clearly see, yet we take it for granted, not noticing it is the key. Simply, the clock and the compasses are there to use. With it, we can live the life we want to produce. Time sets its pace for us to move, and direction, a choice that keeps us in the groove. In our tree of life they intertwine. Time and direction are truly blessings from our divine. So how we choose to make it work best surely contributes to life and its ultimate quest. Each day is time going and directions to follow. The signs of the clock and compasses are there to help us out of the gallows. A gift of time generously from above. Honor it with choosing in a direction of love. Each day the clock follows its specified directions of flow. The compass in its time we must know. So time and direction are in it together. Remember it and we'll ride out any stormy weather. For with time and direction we are heading all in one way, a path designed for us to course, yet some get caught up where they want to stay. So in the journey of life, we are given our clocks and compasses to use, for with it, time and direction are what we have to fuse. Let it be what it has to be, for it's the clocks and compasses that helps us to live free. Each day time is not quite at the behest of our choice, but with the right direction, we can surely rejoice. Always be reminded of the limits with the clocks of time, so every day live life like we're in our prime. At each crossroads, direction is in our hand. Make it work till we achieve our defined plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Radley Ramdan. Now, our next poet is me. And the poem is entitled, With Joy Because of Faith. I dance with joy because of faith. I laugh with joy because of faith. I sing with joy because of faith. I smile with joy because of faith. I run with joy because of faith. I ride or drive with joy because of faith. I pray with joy because of faith. I write with joy because of faith. I swim with joy because of faith. I cook with joy because of faith. I love gardening with joy because of faith. I teach with joy because of faith. Also, speaking of a few emotions or activities, it's important to acknowledge anger and sadness and understand the fact that you can get through the trauma or the darkness because of faith. Thank you. Thank you. I know you all are muted. I can see you all clapping. Thank you so much. Now, our next poet is Charla Schultz. And
Well, good. Okay.
Go right ahead, Charla.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt at all.
Yes, ma'am. So Charla is a notable writer of inspirational visionary poetry who transitioned through dual careers, education, and the railroad industry. Welcome, Charla.
Well, thank you very much. And it's nice meeting fellow poets. Thank you for that. Now, mine's a little bit different because I have an intro and a backstory that you need to know before the poem. And I'm ready to extend to you an invitation to smell the rain. And this isn't a reading, it's a transmission. And it's not about reciting words, it's channeling essence. I'm a poetic mathematician. I'm an educator turned author whose journey weaves numbers, nature, formulas, and feelings. And after years in education, it was God's calling that turned me into the world of poetry to connect human nature with Mother Nature. It began with echoes to my #1 bestseller, Catnip of Life, to my children's book, Buzzin', to Dance with the Earth, which followed my stepping barefoot onto the TEDx stage. But my message remained the same. When we pause to truly listen to the voice of nature, transformation begins. Nature is the natural nurturer, and not something for us to just step outside the door and say, oh, it's a beautiful day, or oh my, it's raining. It goes so much deeper. And the message began long before my writing or before I ever stepped onto the TED stage. During my childhood, nature wasn't something I admired. It was something I lived. I breathed. And the very first time I was outside as a toddler, it was raining. And after a heavy storm, there were just remnants of that soft, southern drizzle. And right in front of me was a mud puddle. I didn't step around it. I stepped right smack dab in the middle of it. And just like that, I met the earth for the first time. I didn't just play in the mud. I made mud pies. I wore mud armor. And I even ate the mud. Why would I eat it? Maybe a mineral craving, maybe just a silly antic of a kid. But as I look back, that was my earliest way of grounding myself with Mother Nature. And that memory stayed with me. And while writing The Catnip of Life, on one quiet day, the smell of the rain drifted in the air, and I realized I never stopped loving the rain, never stopped listening to the rhythm and breathing in its message. Smell the rain became a celebration. And of every sense, the rain awakens: sound, smell, emotion, energy. It's about the differences the rain expresses, the calm and the chaos, the peace and the power. But above all, it's about the presence. I'd like to invite you to close your eyes for a moment and think of your favorite smell. Take it in with a deep breath. Is it the rich aroma of your morning coffee? Is it a warm vanilla candle? The soft perfume of a delicate rose? Or maybe something deeper, fresher, alive? Now, think rain. Now open your eyes. Most people see rain as an inconvenience, a disruption to their day. Never was to me. Rain is a storyteller, a composer, a familiar voice that reminds me nature is life. Life is nature. And that is why I still stop to smell the rain. But have you ever stopped just once to truly smell the rain? Well, now it's time for you to experience various aspects to carry out with you today of smelling the rain. With day's first light, a bracing essence drifts by. Sunbeams peep from behind clouds in the sky. Sense of a looming storm tickles the nostrils, quickly departs. But have you ever stopped to smell the rain before it starts? Aromas from the kitchen, fresh baked homemade bread, the distinct powerful scent, warm cinnamon roll spread. Ah, such succulent senses can dull any pain. But have you ever stopped to smell morning rain? Now pause, because the air is invigorating, the flare stimulating. Peace abides in the meadow till twilight in the countryside. Wet, spicy fragrances of newly cut timbers abide. subtle, soothing perfumes the colorful wildflowers yield. But have you ever stopped to smell rain in a grassy field? Gray skies, stormy days, may sense of the forlorn. When a storm passes, a colorful hue is born. A rainbow arches over a weather vane. But have you ever stopped to smell lashing rain? Now pause, because the motion is synergizing, the emotion energizing. A farm road embraces an afternoon shower. A dusty mist bathes each tree, every flower. Within a few moments, freshness of senses is bestowed. But have you ever stopped to smell rain on a dusty road? This before, during, after rain smell of which I so speak, somewhat surprising, frankly restful, yet always unique. Breathe in the rain smells, part of Mother Nature's domain. Dance in the puddles, left behind by the pouring rain. Now pause, because the sight is enchanting, the joy fulfilling. When the forecast is rainfall, break away from daily routines. Let the rhythm of the falling rain compose a song of tranquil scenes. But remember, there are two sides to nature's face. Calm when tranquility's your stop. On the other side, you will find excitement in every raindrop. Last pause, because today is your introduction. Tomorrow, your rain's induction. So on your next day, rainy day, sleep with the rhythm of the rain and rise with its magic. Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you, Charla.
Thank you.
Welcome. Now, our next poet is Tish McDaniel. And Tish is the founder and CEO of M&M Advisory Group, Inc., and is an award-winning human resources strategist, a process improvement guru, a published poet, an award-winning speaker, an author, an award-winning photographer, and pageant coach, and is a licensed Ziegler Choose to Win coach, offering coaching and Choose to Win every day, the coaching arm of MMAGI. Tish has been featured on the cover of HR Professionals magazine. She was invited to be a part of a People-to-People international program. She's an appointed consultant on a national healthcare research organization, is a member of the SHRM Voices of Work Research panel, and is a member of the Forbes Coaches Council, an invitation-only community for leading business and career coaches. Welcome, Tish.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Poetry Month. And I do have to shout out to Raul, because he has blessed my life and so many other folks, including Mandy, and I'm sure a lot of you here, with his passion. And so much so that last year during an event that I put on, I purchased 50 of his books to hand out to the attendees for free, which is unheard of, handing out a poetry book at a business seminar / webinar, and the Rise with Gratitude. And let me tell you, I'm still getting comments on it and people asking, can we bring that man here to Memphis?
Absolutely.
And and I shared with him earlier the poem that I was going to read. I can't read it because I created it for wise wolf and his precious she-wolf, and I've not sent the wedding gift, so I can't share the poem. So, but I have one just as great. But I do have to call out the poets that have influenced my lifetime. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, his book Near Walden Pond. When I married my husband, I felt like I was living the book because we live in the woods and we have 2 ponds. E. E. Cummings, because of him, I almost flunked out of grade school because I used lowercase rather than upper and lowercase. And the teachers were constantly telling my parents, she might have a learning disability because she does everything lowercase. And my mother says, no, she does this. E. E. Cummings is her life. So she likes to use lowercase. So there you have it. And one of my other ones that I was very blessed and fortunate to have met and spend time with is Maya Angelou. And I do want to share this because living in the woods and who I am, and a lot of you that know me, very simple yet elegant in a lot of the things I do or write or say. And Maya Angelou, and in fact, I have note cards that someone just sent me. Surviving is important. Thriving is elegant. Isn't that just amazing? As a young child, third oldest of 8 children, my mother lost 2 of them. And this poem is, I think, what a lot of us feel like sometimes, and that's how we bring ourselves up and get back into the swing of life. It's called Anonymous. I am here and you are there. Do you see me? Do you dare? All I see are people. Do they see me? Do they care? And do they dare? Anonymous is easy. Or is it hard? Do I see me? Do I dare? Being anonymous? Do I care? And this poem was my award-winning published poem when I was 10 years old. And a lot of individuals, Dr. Oliver Reed said, I hope you got help back when you were 10 years old. It's like, well, we all feel that way. We all feel anonymous. And do you care? Because sometimes being anonymous is the best thing in life, sitting out in the woods, living very simple and elegant. Thank you, Dr. Gigi. Just love what you represent and what you have done, and for all of us to be here. Thank you again.
Welcome. Such an honor to have you here as well, Tish. Now, can everyone make certain to mute your mics? Just because we're hearing some background noise on the back end when the poets are speaking. Just a heads up. Now, Amy, are we good to go? Okay, awesome. Our next poet is Amy Elizabeth Frith. She's a speaker and a podcast host. Welcome, Amy.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Gigi. I'm so honored to be here, and I love every poem I've heard so much. I just whipped this up because I really wanted to bring something fresh, so I write every day. It's called Paradise. I come from a village in paradise, and with every poem I write, I can feel my soul rise. I sing my poetry and I speak it as well. I feel blessed by God to feel deeply compelled. I feel my heart shine when I end lines with rhymes. I feel inspired to desire to make a profound impact in these times. because I come from a village of freedom and peace. I ask everyone alive to visualize change with me, please. Please feel with me a vision of a world with more love, where we all come into alignment with heaven above. What if we listen to the fires in our souls a little bit more? What if we build more healthy studios and dance floors? What if we fund the creatives and artists more than war? I feel blessed to be courageous, to stand firm for what I stand for. It isn't always easy to stand for what is right. Yet when we walk with God, we experience miracles so bright. I stand for kindness and I stand for light. I stand in my power as I offer insight. All that you truly desire in your dreams is worth embracing for all that it means. The more we all shine and harmonize, with hearts open, fully brave and wide, the more we collectively open to healing, enlightenment, and bliss. With gratitude, I appreciate sharing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amy. Now, our next poet is Sadia Caron. And Sadia Caron is a TEDx speaker, screenplay writer, actress, teacher, and singer. Welcome, Sadia.
Hi. Thank you, everyone. Let me pull up my poem. I had it. It'll just take 2 seconds. 1 second. Sorry. I know it is here. I really enjoyed all of the poetry so far. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am a little bit different. I'm going to keep it short and sweet and just pull this up. Forgive me, little technical difficulties, but it's coming. All right, here we go. My poem is called The Road to Hell. Rip the skin off this night to breathe free. Dive down and swim the dark current other mortals attempt to deny. My hands and feet suffocate, dragging through mud. Walking along this dirt gray path, suddenly the night's heartbeat vibrates and whirlpools down the drain. My polarity reverses, more alive when dreaming than awake. There is the man who lies to himself, a disgrace to the eternal mind. His distorted reflection turns ugly, willfully ignoring what he does not like. It's always someone else's fault anyway. But he will be forced to swallow reality, splitting himself in two. So many fragments to pick up, all alone. There is the man who worships his pain into an ecstasy. He combusts his body, selfishly creating nothing. He disappears too soon. The true center blows out with volcanic power, the pieces that don't fit. A tidal wave of blood floods the streets, a shrieking red undertow. Slow suffocation, throat clenching. Untie your noose. Come dance with me. And that's it.
Thank you, Sadia. Wow. This has been absolutely phenomenal. We heard from amazing poets from all over the world today, and we will be announcing the winner at our next poetry event. As you're aware, this is our first annual poetry event. And now we will have closing remarks from our judge, Raul Marin, and then myself. And then we'll go ahead and close out the event today. Raul? Oh, are you muted?
There. All right. I was trying to change the screen so I can see everybody. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Wow. I wish every day could be like this. The passion and the love and the metaphors and the imagery and the vocabulary. I can go on and on. Just amazing. So thank you, all of you, for just sharing your poetry, whether you write it, whether you speak it, whether it's published. 1,000 people, one person, just continue to keep sharing, because there's a reason why the torches were passed to us from the E.E. Cummings, from the Maya Angelou's, from the Robert Frost, from the everybody, we carry their torches now. So please continue to share your poetry. And this is just the beginning. Like Dr. Gigi said, first annual, and I'm sure at some point we're going to be saying this is the 10th annual. So let's get there.
Absolutely.
Very soon, Dr. Gigi.
You're welcome. Such an honor. Such an honor. Now, thank you all so much. Again, this has been absolutely phenomenal. We heard from amazing poets from all over the world. Thank you to our sponsors, and thank you all for listening in. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. God bless you, and be safe.